I'm Craig Skywalker, and I'm here to rescue you.
Aren't you a bit short for a stormtrooper?
What? Oh, the uniform. I'm Craig Skywalker, and I'm here to rescue you.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay, let's go.
WheezyNews. Jang, jing, badonka-donk, boom. Hey, WheezyNewsers. Just want you to know that when you're in your 40s, you learn that life is filled with horrible regret. Just kidding. My life is great, and in a lot of ways, I'm glad that I did it exactly how I did, because I'm very happy with where I'm at. But there are some things I could have done better when I was a younger person, particularly in my 20s, particularly my early 20s. Stuff that I've learned from just being around a lot, and I don't even know if I'm going to be able to convince you stubborn young people who know that you're right, but I'm going to try anyway. Here are 6 things that I learned, and some of these you probably already know, because I was also an idiot in a lot of ways. The first thing, you have witnessed me learning in real time almost on my main channel. I wish I cared more about my health. I paid no attention to what I ate, how much of it, how much I slept, how much I drank, didn't have any sort of regular exercise, working out. Luckily, I was waiting tables, so I was walking around a lot, but then when I got my office job, that ended, and then I just sat around a lot. I'm generally healthy now, and I think I've undid a lot of the damage, but I know that looking back, I would have felt better. I don't think I realized that lack of paying attention to my health caused me to not feel as good, and I'd probably be even better at maintaining healthy habits now had I been doing it for longer. Meditation, I had never tried that until I did the video for it, 5 years ago, which would be my late 30s. Yeah. Time keeps on slipping into the future. I feel like I'm relearning it all the time with every health challenge I'm doing. Doing healthy things makes you feel good. When you're younger, you do have the youth gem inside you that's powering your every movement, and maybe it masks a lot of the damage you're doing, and you don't think you necessarily need all of those healthy behaviors. These days I have the benefit of technology giving me access to a lot of healthy professionals and just tracking my health and everything. In the old days it was harder, but it was still possible to do it. I can think of days when I had stomach issues. I had pains in various places. It would just put me in a horrible mood. It's because of all the crap I ate and didn't pay attention to. I think in theory I connected it. If you eat crappy, it's gonna make your health bad, but I never paid enough attention to realize that I was directly in control of how I was feeling by doing that. I was an idiot. Number 2, appearance. I wish I would have cared more about the things that I wore. I never cared about clothes. The latest Wheezy Waiter main channel video is trying to make my wardrobe better for the first time ever in my 40s. I also had trouble connecting how I look versus how I feel. They are directly related. When you dress well, when you know you're dressing well, when you try to make your hair look good, your skin look good, it gives you confidence. I never wanted to admit that to myself, that I had to care about stuff like that. That's just vapid. That's just silly. That's what I thought. But now I think it's all just it's all a part of it. Everything's connected. And speaking of skincare, if you're worried about your skin and about your appearance, calm down, take it easy. Or should I say, take it Tiege Hanley, skincare for men. I have a sponsor for this WheezyNews video. It's been a while since I've had a WheezyNews sponsor. This is exciting stuff. I've seen comments where people have asked me what I do for my skin, and I have been using Tiege Hanley for the past few years. When you're young and your face is bright and shiny, you might think you don't need to take care of it. Father Time's coming after you, Sonny. They have very simple systems that come with instruction cards. I recommend starting with level 1, the face wash, and it doesn't break when it falls on the ground, by the way. Exfoliating scrub, AM moisturizer. AM means daytime. Blocks that sunlight with 20 SPF. PM moisturizer. PM means pum. They have over 7,000 5-star reviews from customers across the globe. Here's some reviews. I love it! Happy with purchase. Good! I love this body wash.
Then why don't you marry it, Stone W?
I'm sorry. It's a good movie, but it can get really confusing at some points. I'm sorry, that was an audience review of The Matrix. And if you become a member, you get benefits like 20% off the retail price, exclusive monthly deals, pause and cancel anytime, and free shipping across the US, including friend shipping if you want to try to be friends with them. I like to think that they're my friends. Because they're sponsoring this video, you get a great deal. Click the first link below and get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. Just click the link below. Saving money, taking care of your skin. Happy, happy, happy. Hooray! Okay, what was I talking about? Oh yes, huge regrets. Saving money. I lived paycheck to paycheck for a while. I didn't make a budget, really. I didn't pay a whole lot of attention. I didn't care. I'm just trying to be in a band, be a rock star. I'll worry about money later. But What I didn't realize was you can save a little bit at a time, so little that you don't even notice, and just keep putting it on the pile. And the longer you do that, the pile gets bigger. Believe it or not, when you put things on a pile plus thing equals bigger pile. My dad told me and basically created in my mind the $20 rule. Every time I get paid, I was waiting tables at the time. Every time I take home money, take $20, put it in my bank account. I made an online bank account and I put $20 in every time. And then some days when I made more money, I'd put like $50 in. It didn't even change my life. I don't know what I was doing with that money. Simply spending it because I had it, I guess. And then pretty soon I had like $2,000. I bought a laptop. I started making videos for a little thing called YouTube. Find a rule, find a system of some kind to save money, just a little bit at a time. It's shocking to me that simply by putting it somewhere where it was slightly harder to get to, I just didn't spend it, and my life was the same. I did eventually learn that in my late 20s, and it worked out for me. But if I did it in my early 20s, I'd have even more money. Probably also should have invested in GameStop and then waited for the surge and then sold it. Okay, next thing. I wish I would have known being genuine is better than being clever. I joked. All I did was jokes. That was my personality. I didn't take a lot of things seriously. I didn't realize that joking was a form of hiding. I mean, in some ways, the joking defined my career and made me able to do this thing. But it also kind of made me stuck in that thing for a while when the channel was dying. It only lasted a short time. I think you can really only take my kind of humor for so long. I don't know, some of you have stuck around for a long time, so you might be like, no, that's not true, dude. But it took me a while to get comfortable with just expressing an opinion without giving it levity with a joke, without undercutting it with humor. And I feel like all of that humor is kind of like, it shows a lack of confidence in myself and what I believe by trying to make it enjoyable for everyone to laugh at, you know? Nowadays, I've become more comfortable with that. I wish, looking back, that I had been more comfortable with being genuine. Even though filling everything with jokes is also really fun, and I will do that sometimes as well. But these days I find that the funnier jokes, the ones that I tell, the ones in my videos, are the ones that come from a real place as opposed to just complete absurdity. And the things I make are more interesting when I have a legitimate point I'm trying to make as opposed to just, here, laugh at this, laugh at this, laugh at this, laugh at this. But if you can figure out a way to be genuine and clever at the same time, that's the best. No one wants just sentimentality thrown at them all the time, you know? But also no one wants just clever people trying to be clever for clever's sake all the time either. Next thing, getting the point across is much more important than being polished. What I mean is I wish I would have just made things and not worried about them being perfect, not worrying about being professional, not worrying about the right way to do things. Come up with an idea you want to express, figure out the easiest way to express it. If you can make it flashy, if you can make the video look nice or the document you're making be presented in a very professional way, great. But that shouldn't be the number one priority. Professionalism for professionalism's sake, getting the right equipment to upload the perfect video with the perfect tags and SEO and awesome thumbnail. I think it's much more important to have an idea you want to express and express it. Make sure that that is understood. That's the goal, not make sure that everyone thinks that you're professional and you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? I think that's what stopped me from starting making things. It stopped me from making a lot of music. I'm in a band, Driftless Pony Club. I've written a good portion of songs for, but I went long spans of time not writing songs because I think I was just too worried about making them great instead of just having fun with it, you know? I wish I would have learned that earlier. Number 5, everything will change. Life is about adapting to the new reality. When I was in my 20s, I had all these friends. I had this way of life that I thought it was more or less going to be that way, but as I got older, and that was it. But the world changed, technology changed, people move away. I miss my friends. I don't see them as often. I wish I would have known and I would have, maybe treasured them more. Not that I was a bad friend back then, but it doesn't last forever. Things will change in ways you do not expect. I mean, I guess I kind of knew that in theory, but when you're thinking about career, when you're thinking about your future, it's hard to imagine what the world is going to do. Like, when before cars came out, everyone was wishing for a faster horse. There wasn't like, oh, I wish there was this machine called a car that I could have, because that didn't exist. When I was younger, I wanted to be a filmmaker. I did not envision a world where literally everyone has a camera in their pocket and can upload millions of hours of footage every second or whatever it is. Completely different world when it comes to making that kind of content. And I couldn't have possibly aspired to be a part of that in any way when I was younger. And nowadays, I'm much less trying to even predict how I will fit in to a future career, much more kind of adapting and rolling with the punches a little bit more, which I think is something it's probably more obvious to young people now than it was to me, partially because the world was different, partially because I was an idiot. And finally, the most important thing I wish I would have done when I was younger, had a longer beard. I grew the longer beard around 2018, and it's much better. For obvious reasons. That is all. Remember to click the link for 30% off your first box of Tiege Hanley. Thank you to them for sponsoring. And be careful out there. Take care of your health. Pay attention to your appearance a little bit if you're someone who doesn't. Put aside money a little bit at a time. You can make jokes. You can be funny. You can be charming. But also remember to be genuine. Don't worry about doing things the right way. If you're trying to make something, just express your idea. And remember that everything's going to change. And remember to have a long beard. That podcast, Two Guys Talking About Lettuce, is over 1,000 subscribers now, and we have applied to be partners on YouTube. Thank you for subscribing to that. Speaking of appearance, if you haven't checked it out, the latest Wheezy Waiter video is still me asking my wife to update my wardrobe for me to make me a better person, and then it's about it.